I don't work in schools, but I'm a parent. And what I see a lot is that schools are expected to fix what society has kind of broken, and I feel really badly about that. I work with adults, and they come in, and they are at the same stage as these children, but they're 20 and older. And there's this one woman that last week that told me she had this problem with anger. And I was talking to her, and I just simply said, I talked to the whole group about counting to 10. And that's something that a mother I've told my kids 1 million times, but that's self-regulation. When you get angry, count to 10, let your top of your brain kick in so that you don't have to kill someone, And she got that, and she parroted it back to me at a different time. She said someone had taught her that. She forgot it was me. And to me, that was just really kind of rewarding, and also kind of sad that something that a lot of parents tell their kids, and it is mindful, just sit and count to 10, do not react, that a big part of our society is not learning. Mm-hmm. So I think it's sad that schools are meant to kind of fix this, and it's really society's problem.
It's a problem with being human. It's a problem with acceptance. It's the human condition. I mean, this is something that we're in a Catholic college here, right? This is something that Catholicism and Christianity addresses very powerfully with the idea of original sin. Original sin is just the human condition. Schools aren't going to fix it. Yoga's not going to fix it. Nothing. You don't fix these things. What we do is we accept them, see them as fulsomely as we can, and have faith that they'll work with themselves along. And having that faith in our students is really important to them. If they see themselves, if they get a little luck, if they have some good relationships, they will be all right. What are the conditions for being all right? We don't need to do much more than that. We really can't do much more than that. So I would think that we don't want to ask too much of mindfulness either. It's just, can we do a few little things? Those things are pretty good. They're done honestly.
Okay, time for one more question.
Yeah, just one comment and one question. I thought it was interesting that the kids were saying things like, we're smart, we care. And so they know what they need to do and what they want, and that it behooves us to listen and somehow be responsive to that. But also a question, do you see differences in boys and girls in how they respond or what's needed?
Girls are better at it. If I'm gonna put money on the table, I'll say if they're the same age, the girls are a little ahead, generally speaking.
I would say it's
being still or better at it.
Well, that's a pretty loaded question, but I would say it's safe, in my view, it's pretty safe to say that both biologically and culturally, boys have more going against them or more working against them. They have, especially as they're going through puberty, there's stuff going on biologically there, but then also culturally, the things that are reinforced, the types of experiences that we even saw here with violence. I would just say that there's lots of factors that might make it harder for boys. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we heard Omar say, I don't tell anybody I'm doing this.
I don't talk about it with my friends. I
Yeah.
talk about it with my family.
And it's no secret. Sorry, it's no secret that in public schools, especially, and in the society at large, it's males who are predominantly in our prisons, and it's black and brown males who are predominantly thrown out of our schools and in prisons, and that's cultural, and that's things that are being reinforced in society and in schools. So there's definitely tendencies, not only gender but also racial, and it gets more complex as you try to unpack that and be sensitive and thoughtful and mindful of that as an educator and the students you're working with, especially if you are a white person coming in and doing this, and that's a whole nother layer that we won't really have time to talk about here, but that's pretty deep too.
An extremely large percentage of people in prison can't read. And
Yeah.
so it also begs the question of their underlying disabilities that haven't been addressed, chicken and egg thing.
Prisons are our mental health system. There are trauma wards too. The boys and girls, the selfness problem, the selfness perspective is interesting too. Girls tend to be way in each other's shit more. That's girls. The social violence is greater with the girls. They don't drop things. They relitigate every relationship. It's a good thing and a bad thing. So their self is way more involved with other people than a boy's self. So if we're talking about safety, containment, establishing a selfhood, approaching girls is different than boys. Girls, don't get yourself lost in other people. The boyfriend, the rumors, the this, the that. The boys, do something for somebody else. Get lost in somebody else. Get lost in somebody else's business. Create a self that way. Seeing yourself in refracted from around you, right? So they're different, and they'll be different culturally. Like some communities are way more collective than your white suburban thing. So you have different challenges with that. Like, what is this? These are all really important questions for practice.